for me, it's very important to almost like heal people through art. So if my films can help people to wrestle with some of their demons, then by all means, yes, let's do it. Let's talk about it.
I'm going to have you fill in this sentence, however which way you want to. When we are empowered, what? ...
When we are empowered, we are transcendent.
I like that.
I mean it.
Don't mess with me, I got the sword, I got the power, I got the force. I know who I am, whose I am, that means I'm dangerous. Ain't no proof for you to play with this. Blocking my way.
Welcome to the very first episode of When We Are Empowered, a podcast centered around stories from creators and change makers who are building a world where equity and representation isn't just essential, it's healthy, community affirming, and life defining. I'm your host, Dr. Jennifer Turner. I'm a media and wellness expert, and I'm also the founder of Mad Cool. In this space, we'll dive into journeys of empowerment from storytellers, community leaders, and wellness practitioners. We'll learn how they flipped the script on confining narratives, broke down barriers in their fields, and became empowered in the spaces that they've carved out for themselves. So let me tell you what this Mad Cool thing is all about. Mad Cool is about empowerment. My Mad Cool journey started with a focus initially on fitness, helping people to develop health and life empowerment by learning how to be healthy and learning about themselves. Mad Cool has evolved to include storytelling. Empowered storytelling can inspire people to take action, drive cultural movements and conversations toward a more inclusive society. Mad Cool Media will tell stories that are born out of this ethos. When we are empowered, we thrive, we succeed, we change the world, and we become Mad Cool.
That's the vibe. That's the vibe.
Joining us for our very first episode is the illustrious and distinguished award-winning writer and director, B. Monét. Thank you for being here today, B. You are my sister. You are Mad Cool. You are all of those things. I am so thrilled to have you as our inaugural guest.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let me put y'all on game on who B is, okay? Her films are known for their thought-provoking questions about identity, society, race, and culture. Her works have an undeniable commitment to showcasing underrepresented people in film, media, and television. She is a Spelman grad and an MFA from NYU and a native of Maryland. All right. So let me just list a few of your accolades. I got to give you your flowers here. B has worked with several high-profile personalities, and we're talking about Janet Jackson, Reese Witherspoon, Snoop, Rosario Dawson. So get ready, because this is a long list, y'all. In 2019, she became the first African-American woman to direct and star in a Cadillac commercial. And she's also worked with Ford, Hyundai, and so many other brands and celebrities. Her film, Black Girl, celebrates Black women and Black girlhood, starring Allison Felix, among other incredible Black women. It's streaming on Peacock now, so y'all should watch it. And that's just a few things. B, am I missing anything? I'm sure I'm missing a lot, because like your resume is tight.
That's
very
good.
impressive.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. But anyway, I'm just so happy because, I mean, we've had numerous conversations. And every time I walk away from our conversations, I'm always like, she's so dope. She's so amazing. She's so thought-provoking. I mean, you're a real artist and you really have something to say. And I couldn't think of a better person to have as the first guest for Mad Cool. So thank you again. I'm so excited.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be your first guest. Thank you for just, creating the space for creatives and amazing individuals like yourself.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing in Maryland. Was there a moment that you realized that you wanted to write and direct?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Maryland native. From the age of like 6, I very much wanted to be 3 things. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to be a veterinarian, I wanted to be an architect, and a ball player.
All right, now that's 3 very different things.
Girl, okay. The Gemini moon,
Are you a Gemini too?
No, okay. I'm a Libra sun,
okay.
Gemini moon, and a Virgo rising. So that's my big
I
thing.
had to ask because I'm a Gemini. And so I was like, oh, what? That's a whole other thing I didn't know about you. Okay, keep going.
But I like y'all. Y'all are some of like the best
fun,
artists.
right?
Oh my God. Kendrick, Lauryn Hill.
Depends on which twin you're getting. I mean, because we can be fun, but we can be serious too. So anyway.
She said, don't mess with me.
So you don't want to mess with that.
No, but I was just saying, like, I have been a very imaginative, I feel like, child. Like, it's very much in my way of life, how I see the world, how I play. So I think me being a storyteller has just always been there.
Yeah.
I remember in 3rd grade, I had to make this like memory box of things that I wanted to do in this world. I want to go to Paris. I want to star in movies. I want to do this. I had no idea that that little box would be such a like impressionable thing upon me. Amazing. Now as a 100-year-old. That's what I say. I'm 100, so don't ask my age.
If you're 100, I'm 150. So
okay, fine.
we're just gonna leave that right there. But so like, who were your like role models, or who really inspired you to say, when I walk on a set, I want people to understand I'm the director.
Yes. Listen.
This is my set.
Okay. Maybe.
Okay. Right.
Well, I feel like I always saw strong, powerful women in my family. My great grandmother, Mom Vi, who's no longer with us. I feel like she was very like loving, but also just very strong-willed and very brave. She raised so many people. And I think I have that in my lineage, you know, not just with her, but also my grandmother in DC, you know, very much, you know, into her faith, but also didn't take no stuff and was like this big. So those are the women that I stand on, I stand beside, I stand above, I look to still, the people that I carry with me. And I'm proud, you know what I mean, to have their lineage pump inside me. So who am I not to stand strongly, you know, bravely when, yes, you know, you are met with things.
That's
but
right.
You don't let those things ruin you. You stand above them because we are powerful people. And I refuse to like let anything diminish me because of what someone thinks, because of what they said. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
You know? And
it's so true. It's so true. It's funny because like the older I get, the more I really respect and understand the women who I come from and whose shoulders I stand on. And to understand that you come from strong, good, empowered, there's that word again, women, it really does give you the strength to kind of move past, around, over, you know, any obstacles that that may come your way. So
totally. I mean, girl, woof.
You know, just to bring it back to let's, you know, segue into your work. You put it into your work, right? And you focus on your voice and your creativity.
Yes.
You know, so, you know, one of the things I would love to actually talk more about some of your films that I think are just incredible. So one of your films that really personally moved me was Ballet After Dark.
Okay. Yes.
All your films are amazing. But I think the thing that really hit me was I danced as a kid. And I started doing ballet and tap and jazz when I was 2 years old. And I had a ballet teacher. I went to a white ballet school. I think I was my sister and I, we were the only Black girls at the ballet school. And I remember the ballet teacher told me, she was like, Jenna, which by the way, she already kind of tore her draws with me when she called me Jenny, because I don't go by Jenny. I'm Jennifer. But anyway, whatever. So I was 8 years old. And she goes, Jenny, you're a good dancer, but you are simply too fat to dance. And I'm like, who tells an 8-year-old that, right? And so bringing it back to and I never forgot it. And so anyway, in watching your film, it really struck me to see how beautiful and affirming the film was for Black girls of all shapes, sizes, and colors, and that this was really about finding empowerment and creativity and agency through dance. And so anyway, I want to hear your perspective on what that film meant to you, what you were trying to say with it.
And thank you for sharing that. I think teachers and educators have a beautiful way of either empowering you or disempowering you. And we just never know what that experience is going to be like, right? And I hate that happened to you, right? That it still stings, that it still has an imprint, and so that's why educators are just, man,
they're really
so
important.
needed.
And so before we get into it, can you sort of set the stage and talk about what the film is about?
Sure. So Ballet After Dark is a film about Tide Courtney Edwards, who is a woman who unfortunately was sexually assaulted one night in Baltimore, Maryland. And instead of allowing that event to define her, she ended up creating an organization called Ballet After Dark to ultimately help survivors of trauma through dance therapy. The reason why I really wanted to also tell this specific story is because I also want to tell more stories in the DMV. When I learned about, from a white photographer, about this organization in Baltimore, I was like, oh my God, what? Ballet After Dark. I'm obsessed. I need to know who is Tide Courtney Edwards. I need to speak to her. And literally the first time we met, I couldn't stop talking to her for I think we met for 3 hours. That was our first meeting, because I was like, I need to tell your story. What? This is incredible. And I also feel like there are not a lot of folks filming, right? In the DMV, there's still a lot of stories there that matter too. And I think what I loved about her story is that even though this horrible thing happened to her, she didn't let it define her. I think a lot of my stories do talk about trauma, but as a storyteller, I never want to sit in the trauma. And so over time, she did build herself up from this horrific thing that happened. And so she not only helped herself, but she's still helping her community. And so for me, I wanted specifically also to show that Black women, we have things that happen to us, but we are not those things, that we are victors and not victims. And so I wanted also the women to be dressed in yellow.
Such a happy, wonderful, joyous, celebratory color. I love the yellow tutus.
Oh, good.
I was all about the yellow tutu. I was like, I want a yellow tutu. And I want to get up in this film and dance with them. Because it was like, again, your films, and we like I said, we were sort of texting about it. And I was saying how the film had affected me, and you were saying that you really want to create space for people who otherwise, their stories are not getting told. And this was such a celebration and a love letter to Black women, and to see them all dancing together in community. I mean, it was doing what is historically or typically a white thing to do. Ballet is usually for white people. That's what you usually see. And then obviously you have trailblazers like Misty Copeland, but it is still predominantly white. And so to see Tide Courtney teaching community people, community women, they were doing their pliés, passe, all that, whatever, right? And they were loving it. And it was about the ballet, but it was so much bigger than the ballet. And I think, and it was just so moving the whole way that you put it together, really.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what you say moves me a lot, because I always tell stories so that people feel less alone, no matter what they've gone through. And also, what was so empowering for me to see, because I've always wanted to try ballet, is that people who aren't a size 0 are literally performing and trying, you know what I mean? All different shapes, sizes. And that's what was also so important to me, to show these girls who've never, danced in this way, that you can also be beautiful. So we got their hair done. We had their makeup done.
They looked beautiful.
They were, please watch the film, y'all. It's still on. It's on YouTube.
Watch the
film,
y'all.
You can just put it, like Ballet After Dark. It's there.
It really is. It's really wonderful. One of the other films that I did want to talk about is Q.U.E.E.N, Queen. Tell me about that one, which I also loved in its sophisticated storytelling, because you
Thank you.
told a story of a girl who had gone through an assault.
Yes.
Right? But was struggling. She didn't tell anybody. She had a good relationship with her mother. So not like trauma in that sense, but her mother didn't know, and she didn't know how to tell her mother.
Yeah.
And it's basically when she finally gets up on stage at a rap battle and she tells the story of the assault, and her mother's there in the audience. Her mother's like filming her on stage, and then she's like listening to the lyrics, and she's like,
Yeah.
this is what happened to my daughter. And then they end up, when she comes off stage, and she loses, spoiler alert, she loses the battle,
Yes.
but she won the war in that she freed herself. She was able to express herself through her creativity, tell her mom, and she and her mother hug. And I mean, it's not a long film.
No.
But a whole lot happens. And it's sophisticated storytelling, because it's not like, and then this happened, and this happened, and then this happened, and this happened. We didn't do all that. It's just like people being. So tell me a little bit more about that film, because I just think it has a lot of resonance.
Thank you.
As I'm summarizing your film to you.
No. I loved it. I'm like, do this all the time. Like, I need you around everywhere. Like, hire her everywhere. But no, that's my baby. That Queen is. I've been wanting to make that film like as a feature film for a while, but I made it as a proof of concept, which is what you're talking about, the short film.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you feel like, even though your voice is important, you might just feel like it's just a drop in the bucket of the larger issue. But I can't tell you how many people have loved this film, have seen this film, all different walks of life. Even if they're not Imani, they feel like Imani in different aspects.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, going back also to a little bit of astrology, my Chiron, which is my wounded healer, is in Cancer, and that's the mother wound. So for me, it's very important to almost like heal people through art and to really face things that we feel that we're not brave enough to face, to say the things that we would never really say, which is why she was struggling to get it out.
Get it out, yeah.
And so I feel like, and I hope that people feel like not just less alone, but also feel like whatever is eating away at them, that they will be brave enough to say one of these days, whether it's confronting their parent, coming out to someone, letting go of a dead relative, whatever those things are, right? Forgiving your accuser or rapist or whatever it might be that is still eating away at you like a parasite, because you don't know how that parasite then almost like transmutes itself into an illness, into a wound, into a disease, and then you give it to your kid. So instead of you doing that, you can end that generational curse, that thing. It ends with you. So if my films can help people to wrestle with some of their demons, then by all means, yes, let's do it. Let's talk about it.
What have been some of your greatest challenges?
Ooh, we don't have enough time.
I know. It's like, how long is this podcast?
I know. I'm like, girl.
We can figure out we got digital, right? Because we have unlimited. We're off the film days because we have a lot to say about that. But your challenges and also like your greatest, triumphs, things that you're like, we've talked about your great films, but even beyond that, or in addition to that, like, so challenges, but also things where you were like, that's me. Or you were salty to me, but guess what?
I don't forget.
You were clowning me, but guess what?
Oh.
Right? So a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's funny. Like, even when I think about like being in New York for some time now, it's still been hard with trying to cultivate community here in terms of like film community, because sometimes people will be like, well, you are directing commercials and life must be all good for you, right? Like, you know, the rest of us want to be like you. We want to be directing commercials and branded content too. So then I can't really always express some of my hardships because then I feel like I'm complaining, or not even that. I've been told that I might be complaining because we don't have the same problems. So then it's like when you go to sometimes people who look like you and you're saying, hey, this is what I'm going through, hold space for me, I hold space for you. Why can't we have a conversation?
That's crazy though. I mean, because, you know, part of like the whole conversation around mad coolness and sort of underlying it and the when we are empowered is really this idea of community, like people coming together to better themselves, to better society. Like we are better when we work together, right? And so that's just really disappointing to hear that people are, you know, when you divide like that, you can't get anything done, right? Just think about how much more you could be doing in collaboration.
I mean, listen, I used to send grants out to like, no lie, like over 100 people. I'd be like, oh, let me send this person it and this and this and this. And at some point as a giver, I had to create boundaries.
That's right.
Like I'm literally sending grants and opportunities for people, but then I see that you like the social media posts around this grant, but you never thought to send me the same thing. So why am I always giving
and you're not
and yet
receiving?
Never receiving? So I had to say, you know what? We're going to send grants and opportunities that we see to people who would actually also give back to us, not in this opportunistic way, but, you know, it's like, dang, like.
Yeah. Well, that's called, I mean, relationships are about giving and receiving, right? You can't have a healthy relationship or it ain't gonna last very long if only one person's giving. And that's with anything. But I mean, I just think that, again, in terms of creativity, it's so much better when people actually work together. Yeah. And I think part of that is, it sounds like you've worked your way through it, is you got to find your people, right? Your crew, the folks that are going to roll with you.
Yes.
And be there, not when stuff is going great, but when stuff ain't going great. Like when things are like rock and roll, everybody wants to be your friend.
Yeah.
But when you're lower, as my mother say, when you're lower than a snake's belly, that's when, and by the way, will you think about that? That's pretty low. Oh my God. That's pretty low, right?
I'm like, that's where the rats be, maybe.
You're lower than a snake's belly? Baby. She like, ain't nobody gonna be around but your mama. So Jennifer, call your mama. It always comes back to that. Somehow I need to like call my mama. Let's get into the real. When you walk on the set, because when a director walks on set, she runs that set. She is CEO of that set. She is in charge, right?
Yes.
So tell me some experiences when you walked on set where maybe people didn't recognize that.
Yeah. I can think of a commercial I did a little after the pandemic, and it was everywhere. This commercial was every freaking where. It was an Olay commercial with a woman out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Her name is Honor, and she has an amazing microblading studio. And she also stars in the like shoot that you see. She was amazing to work with. It was like a real casting that we did. High honor. But the AD was quite a handful. Just imagine like a curmudgeon, you know, white dude who is in his like 60s or whatever, who's been working in film and entertainment, but probably never got the opportunity to direct. So here he's being met with a Black woman who's
Young,
directing, who's young, and who's like here. And also, I'm not those things that society is telling you that I am, right? I'm not angry. I'm not going to be sassy and derogatory towards you. I'm literally here to be respectful and to move the set along and to get what I need to get. At the end of the day, I'm going to get paid. So whatever I got to do to get paid, I'm going to do that.
I'm going to get this work done too.
So,
and then it's like, I'm sure that must be exhausting. And, at the end of the day, it's a creative medium. Like, I mean, you're there to create. It's about the work and not all this other crap that's going on, right? And so, I'm sure you've had to just kind of go back to the top of how we started our conversation. I'm sure in some of these moments you've had to think about your lineage and the strong women that you come from to be like, I'm going to dig real deep, in myself so that I can overcome this moment and be the professional, the director, the person that I know that I am and tell the story that I want to tell. So,
and sometimes I wear a mask.
Yeah.
Like literally wear a mask too.
Right.
Because you don't get to get my facial expressions, right? So I need to get a job done. I need to be decisive. I'm the captain of the ship. I'm not going to allow you to feed into this. So then all you get is my eyes. Mm-hmm. So you don't get the rest of my face because you don't deserve it. Mm-hmm.
I gotta take lessons from you, B, because my face is like I could never play poker because I'm always like, say what? I'm like, what? I need to like Botox my whole everything.
You don't need to Botox anything. Not with that skin, girl.
So that I'm not like, just like, did you just say something crazy to me? I need to do the eyes. Anyway, so is there any, because I've talked about, Ballet After Dark, but is there any film that, is particularly special to you or one that you want to highlight and say, like, this is what I, really wanted to say with this particular film?
Yeah, I mean, not just with Ballet After Dark, but I think for me, I'm just really keen on showing Black women just in a way that I know us to be, right? Like as a Black woman, I see us, right, in all of our vulnerabilities, all of our strengths. And I love just being able to direct and show us in our glory, like someone who's super, super shy. And when I direct them, they now come alive and I get to really like bring it out of them. You know what I mean? And then the world gets to see. And so I think that it's a privilege to be able to be a filmmaker. Like, as hard as it is, I don't let that hard define me when I'm in front of any person that I get to direct. They don't deserve any of this, right? That I might be getting behind the scenes. Right. When they get me, they get all of me because I want basically there to be a yin yang experience. So it's like if I'm giving them my all, they're going to literally give that on screen. So if I pull back in any way, that's not fair to them. Yeah. So I got to give this Black woman, this Black person, their all and give them their flowers in this moment. Because a lot of people I've documented have never, ever been documented. So
I believe it because there are very few spaces and places and platforms for that to happen, right?
Still.
I mean, it's 2025 and it's still like fighting for a slot. I mean, it's rough, which is, I mean, I think this is, part of the reason why the creator economy and social has, exploded is because there's just no barriers there. Like people can make stuff, they can put it up, go directly to an audience and, unfiltered, unfettered, and people want to be seen. People want to see themselves in content. And I mean, you've done such a phenomenal job of telling these stories. So you have to keep telling them.
Listen, the funds just need to fund and we'll
I know, because stuff costs money, right? So anyway, I'm excited to see, because I know you're just getting started. Like it's very clear that you have something to say, you have a lot more to say. And so what we have to figure out, like you and me, is how to create, first of all, a creative community around you that's going to support you, give you the resources you need to tell your stories, and a platform to do it.
Listen, I receive. I take that in.
It's called Mad Cool Media, y'all. No, I just had to say that. I had to do like a shameless plug. But truly, but truly, like I've had the opportunity as I've been building Mad Cool Media to meet with incredible creators in this city, in New York, who are like you and want to find you, who actually do want to collaborate, right? So for the people that are kind of like, this is my thing and I'm not going to share, there's a whole bunch of other people out there who actually do. And so my job is to connect y'all together, because this is how, when we are empowered, this is how we create great things, right? Yes. And so it is through that community and that connection that we are, in fact, stronger together. So I am going to say one, because everybody's like, wrap this up, because I know we've been talking a long time, but
oh, no.
I'm going to have you fill in this sentence.
Okay.
However, which way you want to. And we're playing with this because this is the first episode. So it may work, may not work. We'll see. Or try it. It's film school. We're trying stuff.
Yes.
When we are empowered, what? ...
When we are empowered, we are transcendent.
I like that.
I mean it.
I like that. When we are empowered, we are transcendent. It sounds, I like it. We like it.
Did I do something?
Like it. Let's cut a promo off of that. I like it.
Oh, mommy.
So, I think that's all I had to say. We covered a lot. I covered my mama, lower than a snake's belly. I
got to meet
she is. My God, yes. She's a hot mess. Thank you so much for sharing, because I feel like we really got to understand not only your work, but the woman, the Black woman, the human behind the work, and how these two things are very much interconnected. Yeah. And your story is one of such focus, determination, and resilience that I think it will have tremendous impacts. So I'm going to say, here are Jennifer's takeaways. When we are empowered, social change can happen. When we are empowered, greatness can happen. When we are empowered, we are the very best versions of ourselves. And that makes us and society mad cool. So thank you so much for being my first guest. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I have to go call them mom.
Please tell her I said hello, and that I'm going to use her little saying.
Lower than a snake's belly. And you have to say it.
I love it. Like
just like that.
God.
Thank you for listening to our very first episode of When We Are Empowered. This episode was produced by Robin Benefield, Priscilla Alabi, and myself, Jennifer Turner. Mixing and engineering by Carrie Ed Harmon. Music in this episode is On My Side by Garrison and Kilonda. Special thanks to our guests B. Monét and Kilonda Rembert. The video version of the podcast was edited by Mesa Johnson and is available on YouTube at Mad Cool Media. For more information, please visit the show notes and our website at madcoolmedia.com. Catch us next time on When We Are Empowered, and thanks for listening.